As with gladness men of old did the guiding star behold, as with joy they hailed its light, leading onward, leading bright. So, most gracious Lord, may we evermore be led to Thee.
And the wise men came to Jerusalem asking, where is the child who has been born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star and have come to worship him. Matthew chapter 2, verse 2. During these unsettling times, humanity as a whole faces a pressing and daunting learning challenge which summons our very best minds. We are called to learn how to relinquish the old world and to imaginatively give birth to a new narrative in which life can flourish despite all that threatens its survival. In such a context, we are bound to ask, what new vision will summon God's people into a deeper, more caring, and mutually beneficial relationship with each other and with the whole created order? This is our challenge as we enter a new year. For although we must at all times observe the health and social protocols that help to keep us safe during the corona pandemic, God calls us not simply to sit and wait to see, for who knows when this situation will end, but to give birth to new beginnings. That rebirth is precisely the message of this Christmas Epiphany season. Matthew writes, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, during the time of King Herod, magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and have come to worship him. Think how suddenly our context for living can change by illness, death of a loved one, and of course this coronavirus that threatens to suck the very energy of life out of us. And yet, precisely because these experiences free us of illusions and false payoffs, they invite us to discover and live from broader perspectives and with much deeper seeing. The wise men somehow knew this, that a new world is desperately trying to be formed out of the disintegration of an old world. We really don't know much about these men, but we do know three things. First, that they were diligent in looking for the star. Secondly, they were men of action who saw their star and followed it. And thirdly, they were wise. They chose to have their future shaped not by their own context, but by the one whom they offered their gifts. These are the people in every generation who contribute to the advancement of their world, people who see stars and follow them. Someone once said, the secret of success in life is for a person to be ready for opportunity when it comes. These three men saw their star, and without delay they mounted their camels and hit the road. Nothing happens in this world until someone sees a star and follows it. Of course, not every star is worthy of being followed. There are many people who are by nature impulsive. They may jump at any star only to regret it later. There are stars within our culture today that we simply need to reevaluate in terms of their negative impact on the minds of our youth. That process will require a national coalition of mind and voices. Unfortunately, we will have to look beyond politics and the media to lead that cause. And the wise men came to Jerusalem asking, where is the child who has been born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star and have come to worship him. People who are ready to adopt an attitude of hope against all odds, who are prepared to keep looking for the star despite detractors, know they will have to journey, to search, to change. That readiness to journey, to change, is indeed what creates for us new epiphanies. The second thing we learn about the wise men is that they were men of action. There are many persons who are very much aware of God, but who are never driven to act in His name. They have successfully avoided an encounter with Him in ways that could advance His mission in the world, because they never received an epiphany. Epiphanies, thank God, wake us up so we can in fact experience our encounters of the divine, learn from them, and be transformed into action for God. For most of us, that is going to take a lot of discipline. It is going to take discipline to change a lifetime of habits and to begin a new life. We live at a time in which the personal self is what we use to define our world, and we will do pretty much what we feel like doing and feel good about it. Oh, yes, we must all take our feelings seriously. They are part of who we are. But there is more to you and me than our feelings. There are also our hopes, our aspirations, our dreams, our visions, our responsibilities, and our obligations. All these are part of our life too. And you and I ought to be as honest about these things as we are about our personal feelings. The wise men must have said to themselves, we can be more than we are. They interrupted their daily regimen at great length, and if they were kings, they submitted to another one. It's quite an extraordinary imagery and lesson for us today, and one we need to consider if our epiphany is to lead to a change of direction. Herod tries to co-opt them, to betray their journey, to end their commitment to the possibility of social and personal transformation, but they would have none of it. Finally, although the wise men acknowledged their cultural environment, they were not limited by it. This is the point the prophet Isaiah makes when he urges us to arise and shine, for our light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon us. We live in a time when the wisdom of the day tells us that we are the product of our past, or of our cultural environment, or our genes, that some kind of destiny is placed upon us, and we can't do anything about it. In that kind of world, therapy consists of accepting who you are. Sometimes that is all right. It needs to be said. But sometimes it sounds an awful like settling down in Babylon, the place from which Isaiah spoke. We may not have the life we want now. Things may have happened to make us feel that we are stuck where we are. But do you know what is true? When you live with anything for a while, it doesn't seem so bad after all, especially when you are asked to change, because then you can see the advantage of even being in bondage. At least you know what to expect. At least your life is familiar to you. Marianne Williamson, the American writer and poet, wrote, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us. It is in everyone. As we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. End of quote. Christian faith says that the most important fact about your life is not what has happened to you in the past and not the way you are right now. The most important fact about your life is what God is offering you. God has given you the future. God has given you a new light to shine forth in the world. No one can claim it for you. You have got to claim it for yourself. Move with it and let it shine. So do it, even if you don't feel like it, even if you don't believe or can't imagine that the presence that is offered can come to you. Get up and follow that star anyway, because you are a person of faith and you believe that what is real is not only the way you feel now, but the promise offered to you in Jesus Christ. So arise and shine. God bless you. Happy New Year, and God bless members of your family and those with whom you journey.
As with joyful steps they sped, Saviour, to thy lowly bed, there to bend the knee before thee, whom heaven and earth adore. So may we with willing feet ever seek thy mercy seat. As they offered gifts most rare at thy cradle rude and bare, so may we with holy joy, pure and free from sin's alloy, all our costly